All right, so Donald Trump has obviously been banned from all of these major social media platforms like Twitter and Facebook. Facebook specifically just upheld their decision. They have this weird board that is supposed to be some sort of independent review board that they use to determine whether or not people should stay banned. And so they decided that Trump will stay banned at least for the next coming months, and then they'll do a reassessment. So Trump has been banned. There's arguments to be made from all sides of this, right? There's the argument to be made that these are private corporations, and with these social media platforms being the equivalent of the modern day town square, the public square where you're able to voice your opinions about politics and news, etc., that we shouldn't be giving private corporations the power, the ability to remove anyone, let alone the former president of the United States, and giving them that unilateral power that we have no ability to oversee in any way or hold them accountable for the actions that they take. So I think there's a good argument to be made there that private corporations shouldn't be making these decisions. And I think there's also a fair argument to be made that if anybody should be banned from these platforms, it would be somebody like Donald Trump, who you could argue is directly responsible for inciting violence, like on January 6th, where he sort of kind of egged on an insurrection. So there's good arguments to be made from all sides here. But on top of that, Donald Trump has just not been handling the information well, the situation well. And the way that he's been coping is he's trying to create his own social media platform, and I say that in quotations, as you'll see in the description that they give here in Mediaite. So let's go ahead and read about this, and then we're going to check out the website, because this shit is just absolutely hilarious. So former President Donald Trump launched a long-awaited platform on Tuesday to communicate with his followers outside of social media. So this is something he's been hyping up for weeks. He's been telling the mainstream media, he's been telling everybody this is going to be some revolutionary new platform where conservatives won't be silenced. This is what it actually is. The platform, which took the appearance of a blog at www.donaldjtrump.com/desk, displayed a number of Twitter-sized messages as of Tuesday afternoon, alongside buttons offering readers the option of sharing them on Twitter and Facebook. A third heart-shaped button, analogous to the like buttons appearing on social media websites, also appeared, though it appeared to lack any functionality as of Tuesday. The page became public the same day that Facebook was expected to announce whether Trump's suspension from the website would be permanent. As I just said, they kind of extended it, but it's not permanent necessarily. A source familiar with the situation told Fox News the new site it was intended to facilitate one-way communication, adding this system allows Trump to communicate with his followers. The new site was topped off by a video that referred to the new setup as a beacon of freedom straight from the desk of Donald J. Trump. So again, kind of conflating the meaning of social media with what this actually is. This isn't a social media site at all, as Donald Trump had hyped it up. This is just literally a blog. I mean, this is like any other blog, and it's not even really a well-made blog. I mean, I'm not some web designer or anything, but I could make a better website like this in like a couple hours or less than that even, and I'm sure most of you guys could as well. So this is what it is. I mean, it's from the desk of Donald J. Trump, and it's literally just a knockoff Twitter here, except it's Twitter but where people can't actually interact with you, where people can't comment. All they can do is share it to other social media platforms, and then there's this like function, which I guess just literally does not do anything. So this is what it is. I mean, some of the statements that he's been putting out have been relatively entertaining. I'm not even gonna lie. We can go ahead and read some of them here. So this is from today, actually. So he's talking about Liz Cheney. Let's see what he's got to say about Liz Cheney today. So, Liz Cheney is a warmongering fool who has no business in the Republican Party leadership. We want leaders who believe in Make America Great Again movement and prioritize the values of America first. Elise Stefanik, who I guess is her challenger, is a far superior choice, and she has my complete and total endorsement for the GOP conference chair. Elise is a tough inspire. Okay, so yeah, you get the point. What Facebook and Twitter and Google have done is a total disgrace and embarrassment to our country. So he's just venting. I mean, it's just a blog where he gets on and he vents in like Twitter bite-sized format. That's it. That's the whole thing. And this is what he was promoting as like this new revolutionary thing that's going to change the way that conservatives are communicating online and go after a lot of these other platforms that have treated him so unfairly. But listen, this is pathetic. This is pathetic. I mean, there's no way that you can look at this and think that it's anything other than pathetic. Okay, this is a man who has lost his position of power. Okay, he's no longer the president. He's no longer even able to post. Again, we know that he's a poster at heart. So he's no longer even to do what he loves doing most. And this is a situation that he's left himself in. He's left himself in a pathetic situation where he has nothing but some knockoff blog like you would have seen in the early, 2010s or whatever the fuck. And he's just doing one-way communication with his followers, and it's pathetic. He's trying to stay relevant. He's trying to keep himself in the news cycle, and this way he doesn't have to like directly go through the media or any of these other alternative outlets that he would have to go to in order to become part of the news cycle. And so this is just what he's doing instead. I mean, honestly, it's pathetic. It's also funny. I'm looking forward to some of the things that he's going to be saying on this. But again, in a broader scope, the more important conversation about this, in my opinion at least, whether or not you think Donald Trump specifically deserved to be banned from these sites, we should not be allowing these social media websites, Facebook, Twitter, to have this much power, okay? Basically, what they have right now is a monopoly on public discourse. And like I said, these are the modern day public town squares where if you want to be relevant and you want to talk about politics, you kind of have to be online in a sort of way. You kind of have to be on a lot of these social media platforms in some capacity. And so giving private corporations who obviously have a skewed bias in favor of corporate interests and in favor of their own interests, we should not be giving them the ability to dictate public discourse in the United States, okay? That's not what facilitates a functioning democracy or an exchange of ideas, okay, in a functioning democracy. So we shouldn't be giving them that power. We should be regulating them as public utilities. And honestly, really the takeaway from this is that Donald Trump is still a pathetic loser who's trying to cling on to any relevance that he has left.